Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the Davis versus Martin is on video as Gervonta Tank Davis, the reigning undefeated WBA lightweight champion of the world, returns to defend his title against undefeated contender Frank Martin, also the United States. Now, this fight will take place on Saturday, June 15th in the main event of an Amazon Prime pay-per-view card. Now, before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel, I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. So, you know, Tank Davis fighting is an exciting prospect. You know, it's an exciting thing. You know, he's returning after a 14-month layoff here to take on Frank Martin. And, you know, it's an interesting battle. Frank Martin is an undefeated guy, 18-0, 12 knockouts. He has, he's gotten probably his three best wins all in a row right here. Being able to stop the Jackson Marinez 3 fights ago. Got a convincing unanimous decision victory over Michelle Rivera, who was undefeated. And then beat, I think the guy named was Hadaruvian in his last fight, beat him by unanimous decision to continue to build himself up. That was last July. So he's had, heading into this fight, he's about 11-month layoff heading in, but it's by far the biggest fight of Frank Martin's career. He's been looking for a title shot, somebody to give him an opportunity, and now he's receiving that opportunity. And I think it's gonna be good. You know, I think it's interesting because I don't think he is the big-time underdog, at least stylistically, that people are making him out to be. I think he's a very live underdog heading into this fight, and I think he's got a decent chance of pulling off an upset. And a lot of people might find that interesting, but he has the height and reach advantage. I think he's got a 3-inch height advantage. I think reach is somewhat around the same, but he's a consummate boxer, and he knows how to stick and move. He's around the same age as Tank. I think he's 29, but this is his big moment in the sun. And I think, you know, just stylistically, it's an interesting matchup for Tank to take, especially after a 14-month layoff. You know, Tank's not, you know, immune to taking somewhat long layoffs, but a 14-month layoff after your career best win over Ryan Garcia, you're kind of, you know, rolling as a big dog, as a premier fighter now, and now you're going in against Frank Martin. So, you know, who's a low-level name, but is a decent fighter with a very, very solid boxing skill set. And I think he has the tools to potentially pull off the upset. But Tank, you know, you know, he's fighting who he's fighting. Obviously, Tank sees something that he can expose and defeat, or else he wouldn't have taken the fight, because this is not a fight he had to take. Tank standing at 29-0 with 27 knockouts. I'm hoping, you know, if Tank gets through this fight and he wins convincingly, it leads to the bigger names after this. So, you know, but it's an interesting matchup, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens here on June 15th, because a big-time victory on this card just leads to a bigger fight down the road, you know, and bigger fights for Tank. Tank is good for the sport, and if he can beat a guy like Frank Martin and knock him out, then I think it's going to go a long way to showing that Tank can beat boxers, guys who box. And to be honest, if Tank is at all interested in a Vasily Lomachenko fight, fighting a guy like Frank Martin, who maybe is not as good as Lomachenko, but is definitely on the younger side and a southpaw boxer, it might set Tank up for that kind of a style in his, you know, in the near future, if he is interested in taking on Vasily at some point, who's also fighting for a world title at lightweight just about a month earlier, a little over a month earlier. So, gonna be an interesting one. Saturday, June 15th, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. Davis versus Martin is on for the WBA Lightweight Championship of the World at 135 pounds. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.